Good morning. About 15 years ago, I went to a conference done by Dr. Robert Sardello and his wife Cheryl, and it was an amazing insight into human nature. And I remember, I may have said this to you many times, but when I was a young priest going to a retreat in New Mexico, and I had a spiritual director, and he said, "Don, if you're going to be a good priest, you got to know God and you got to know human nature." And so when I was at this conference, say 15 years ago or so, I learned something about the way we operate. We have a mind which thinks and figures things out, can't live without it. It's where our ego lives, can't live without an ego. We have another thing called a heart, this organ in the center of our being, which is very mysterious. If you know anything about science on the organ of the heart, it is much more than a pump. It has the same kind of brain cells and the same kind of cells as in your brain, and it thinks, it feels more than it figures things out. It's intuitive. This is logical. This is intuitive. And then you got this other part of us. It's our will, our desire, our drive. Now, why is it important to know that? In fact, I'll tell you that the exercise he gave us to do, which I thought was kind of fun, is we'd have to first think about this thing called our mind and then take our attention down into our heart and think about the heart, what it does, and then go back down. Think about the will and go back up. And it was like, all right, there are three things that operate when I'm making a decision, when I'm doing anything. And what it did for me was made clear two things, really important. The will is going to follow either one. And the will is drive and passion. And without that, you can't do much. You got to have a desire to do something with your life or it just gets boring. So we want to develop a strong desire, a will for something. But then it comes to what? And if it's a logical problem, if it's something you need to figure out, something to do with your health or something practical, you're going to use your mind and get other people's minds involved, and you're going to make a good decision based on the truth, on science. But the one that's so magic is this one, the heart. Because what you need to know is that this can only figure right and wrong. It's a binary operation. It thinks either or, right, wrong, black, white. This is the closest thing to God's divine presence in you. It's intuitive. It has an intention. And there's something about the intention of the mind and the will make something. The intention of the heart and the will create the most exciting thing that is ever given to human beings. Connection, union, communion, oneness. Ever notice when people talk about, I've been thinking about something, but I felt the other day, it's so perfect. This thinks, this feels, this gets it done. Pay attention to all three. Develop all three, but give special attention to that glorious thing right in here, your heart, because that's where God is. And that's where he longs to live and to move and to connect and to heal and to free. Have a great day.